want to show you something. You see that bank right over there? I can get in and out in 3 minutes.
And do what?
Rob it. Happy New Year! Here's the thing.
Bandit is a movie based on the best-selling novel and true story of the Flying Bandit. It stars Josh Duhamel, Canadian Elisha Cuthbert, and yes, Mel Gibson.
What?
And we are joined by the Canadian director, Allan Ungar, joining us this morning. Good morning. This looks amazing.
Thank you.
Tell us, first of all, the true story of the Flying Bandit.
So Gilbert Galvin escaped from a prison in Michigan and essentially crossed the border into Canada and assumed a fake identity and went on to rob 59 banks and jewelry stores, which became a Canadian record.
And what was the era?
This was in the 80s. So he escaped prison in 84 and he went on a crime spree that pretty much went till 1987. And he was doing it while he was racking up his Aeroplan frequent flyer miles.
And he garnered some fans too, kind of a legend.
Yeah, I mean, it's funny. He gained fans not just from the people that he robbed, but the people that chased him. And the real Gilbert and the cop who caught him are now very good friends.
Oh, really? Wow.
Yeah.
Well, this is the stuff of movies, for sure. How did you come across the story?
So the script fell into my lap. The writer, Craig Wenman, who's from Vancouver, he had been chasing this story for a long time. He grew up in Ottawa, and he had heard tales in the 80s about this notorious bank robber. And he got the life rights, the book rights, the script came to me. And as a Canadian, I was excited, you know, Canada for once. It's not like an American movie coming to Toronto and doubling it for New York. It was very rich in sort of its Canadian identity. And it was just so much stranger than, you know, truth is stranger than fiction. So I got really excited about how bizarre all of it was.
Yeah, absolutely. Now you've got some heavyweight Hollywood talent in your cast here. Let's start with Mel Gibson, not only an actor, but of course a director too. Is that intimidating for you?
Yeah, you know, he's an Oscar winner and he's one of the greatest of our generation. And so I was wondering, okay, is he going to tell me that the light should move or the camera's not
directing
right
the director?
Yeah, exactly. But I think we earned trust from one another very early on, and he just trusted me in the process, and he was great.
Yeah. So yeah, what was he like day to day? Is he?
Honestly, I called him Uncle Mel. He was fun. He was patient. He was courteous. He was just a lot of fun to be around. A total pro.
And tell us about his character.
So he actually plays a real guy named Tommy Craig, who was a fence and a loan shark in Ottawa in the 80s. And the funny thing is that his nickname was the Fat Man. And Mel Gibson made a movie in Ottawa called The Fat Man a few years ago.
I remember that.
Yeah, so I think he got a chuckle out of it. But of course, you know, there's this uncanny resemblance between the two of them, minus 150 pounds, I would say.
Now, Josh Duhamel is the...
Josh is, you know what? So we had the LA premiere the other night. I just got off a red eye. I haven't slept. I'm on this high from the premiere, and the reviews have been rolling in, Rotten Tomatoes, and everyone's saying it's the best performance of Josh's career, and he's phenomenal in the film.
So how do you describe? Well, of course, you describe the real criminal. So what does he bring to the role?
He brings a level of charm and humanity that you don't see in a lot of these characters, and I think that's what makes them so sympathetic and relatable.
Well, it's certainly, as you mentioned, getting a lot of buzz. Now, when can Morning Live viewers catch this?
So the film comes out in theaters and Cineplex today across Canada, as well as on demand. So you'll be able to catch it on Rogers, Apple, Amazon, anywhere you can essentially buy or rent movies.
Okay, fantastic. Great Canadian story with a great cast and a great director, Allan Ungar. Thanks so much for joining us on Morning Live.
Thank you for having me.